Hey guys, Josh here from LiberSeed. Thinking about health, healing, and sovereignty. In the world we live in today, conversations around health, medication, and vaccinations have become more than just medical. They've become political, economic, and in some cases even ideological. But at the heart of it, the question is quite simple. Do we still understand the body as something designed to survive, or something that's broken and that we need to manage? So at LiberSeed, we believe that answers begin by returning to principles and not politics. The body is built to heal. One of the foundational insights often lost in modern medicine is that the human body has evolved over millions of years to defend itself. We're not helpless, and that's far from it. So here's a few well-documented examples of how we're not helpless and we're designed to survive and heal itself. So fasting and I'm going to pronounce this terribly wrong. Autophagy. I know what it means, but after roughly 48 to 72 hours of fasting, the body enters a deep ketosis and activates this word, autophagy, a process where the body begins breaking down and recycling damaged or dead cells. So studies show this improves immune response and targets precancerous cells, essentially taking out the trash. And so this idea that we're constantly going to the fridge and we can eat every 3 hours is probably bad for us. I mean, by definition, that is bad for us. Look at obesity rates, and we come from a long ancestry line where people struggled to find enough calories to survive. And so that's why we've hunter-gatherers are constantly searching. That's why we know so much about different types of food, because we've constantly been trying to find calories to survive, and that's made us explore different foods. And that's fantastic. But now we've got the opposite problem. We've got the problem where we've got more people who are eating too many calories than not enough calories. So movement and immunity, how does that fit together? Regular exercise boosts the production of macrophages, so infection-fighting cells. Sedentary lifestyles suppress the immune system, and today most people move less than ever before. We need to start thinking about food as medicine rather than what's the next pill we can take. Diets high in ultra-processed foods, seed oils, and artificial additives undermine immune health, gut function, and mental clarity. Nutrient-dense whole foods from the garden or pasture can reverse many common issues. So stress destroys health, and stress is the most abundant thing in today's society. Chronic stress is linked to everything from inflammation to heart disease, mental breakdowns, and autoimmune deficiencies. Yet today's culture glorifies speed, hustle, and disconnection, the perfect environment for stress to thrive. Modern medicine is a tool, not our master. So let's be clear, modern medicine has accomplished some really great things. Antibiotics, sterile surgery, insulin, anesthesia. There are genuine breakthroughs that have really saved so many lives, and so many people have got to be really grateful for this advancement. But medicine today is also a big business, and we need to really understand that to be able to make your own decisions. The pharmaceutical industry is projected to exceed $1.5 trillion in revenue by 2025, this year. And that's just in the US. Companies are incentivized to create lifelong customers and not one-time cures. So if you think about why is the pill existing that I'm taking for whatever problem I've got, who has produced it and what's the incentive for them to produce it? And then think about, is it actually going to heal you? And is there alternative methods in which you can fix your own problems? Scientific journals and trials are often funded, influenced, or selectively published based on financial interests. There's many scientific studies that just never see the light of day, and that's not necessarily because of the information that it sheds light on, but other ones have financial incentives that companies really push and spread through the media, spread through advertisement and so forth. So reproducibility crisis, there's a study in 2016 by Nature, this organization, found that over 70% of researchers couldn't reproduce the results of scientific experiments, including medical science. It's pretty scary. But don't take the facts by me. Fact check everything yourself. And this brings us to the heart of the matter. So what can you trust? With the plethora of data and information, what is it that you trust, and how do you trust it? In today's hyper-polarized informational age, you can find a study to support almost any position. And so, pro, anti, neutral, there are studies in every opinion. And this doesn't mean that all the data is false, but it means that the filtering mechanism can become corrupt. And you've got to think about who's telling you what information. And that's one of the problems with AI. AI is going to become the filter for everything, whether it's financial investing, whether it be relationship advice, whether it be anything. And AI is going to be the way in which we filter things through. We're not going to think for ourselves. So when people say trust the science, well, LiberSeed asks which science and who paid for it. The LiberSeed alternative, health sovereignty. We don't advocate for or against any particular medicine, therapy, or protocol. Instead, we advocate for something deeper and more ancient. Responsibility of your own body, skepticism of centralized systems, trust in nature, in movement, in soil, in the sun, the courage to think for yourself. These things are lost. And you can start this today. You can grow your own herbs and medicinal plants. You can spend some time in nature daily and not just go to the gym. Consider fasting or cycling. Processed food out of your life. Get rid of the food that's not whole, nutrient rich, or organic. Disconnect from stress. Reconnect with your body. Listen to your body. Your body's always telling you something. And most people never stop to listen. They're too busy working. What's the next thing? What's the next entertainment? What's the next adrenaline buzz? Use modern medicine when needed. There's always going to be examples of when you can use medicine and it's actually going to benefit you. Think of cancer. What the methods in which we've gained to be able to help people who are cancer patients is absolutely extraordinary. And without that, so many families are going to be absolutely distorted and broken down. And so absolutely modern medicine is a fantastic thing, but there's ways in which we can look around it. So use modern medicine when needed and don't outsource your health to it. So ask questions, not to rebel, but just to understand. So my final thought, the modern system treats us like consumers of care, not participants in our own well-being, but we're not just a passive vessel. The body is ancient, intelligent, and adaptive. The goal is not to reject science, but to remember the science of the human. You don't need to escape the system overnight, but you do need to start walking away from it. One step at a time, and that's the LiberSeed path. That's the foundational ideology of LiberSeed. So thank you for listening, and I hope that was interesting and engaging. But I'd like to hear your opinion of it because I'm just one man with an opinion. So tell me, what do you think? Like, subscribe, and comment.